Okay, so going to the test tube, okay, I'm going to go through work out each of these problems. So follow along, okay, and I'll show you how I can use my calculator to help me as well. So for this first one, okay, it's act by factoring. So if there's already the parentheses here for us, we know it's already factored. So all we have to do is set each of those parentheses equal to 0. And solve. So both sides, we would add 5 to both sides. We can get that x is equal to 5. And then for this one, we would have to get rid of that plus 1. So we're going to minus 1 to both sides. And then to get rid of that 2, we're going to divide both sides by that 2. So we get x is equal to negative 1. Okay, for 2. Again, there's those parentheses, so we know that's already factored for us. So we're going to take our first factor, which is 3x, and set that equal to 0. We're going to take our second factor, x minus 4, and set that equal to 0. So we're going to divide by 3 to both sides, and we get x is equal to 0. And then for this one, we have to get rid of that minus 4, so we're going to add 4 to both sides, and get that x is equal to 4. For 3, for this one, because it is a trinomial, we'll need to do our x. So first and last at the top, so 12x squared. Middle term on the bottom, so 8x. So we're looking for factors that are going to multiply to give us our 12, but add to give us our 8. Those two factors are going to be 6 and 2. Now, because there's no number in front of this x squared, we can just leave it, okay, and we don't really have to do our box. We know that we're going to have 6 and we're going to have 2. So our factor is going to be x plus 6 and x plus 2. So from there, we can set each one of those equal to 0. So x plus 6 equals 0, which when you solve, you get x equals negative 6. And x plus 2 equal to 0, and when you solve, you're going to get x is equal to negative 2. So negative 6 and negative 2 are your answers there. Now for 4, same thing, we have to factor. Now it is only a binomial, so we're going to do our greatest common factor. So we're going to have our one box. So 2x squared and our 10x. So we have to look at our numbers first. What is our greatest common factor between 2 and 10? Our greatest common factor is 2. And between x squared and x, they both have an x. So we're going to put our lowest exponent, which is just x on the outside. So to get from 2x to 2x2, I need one more x. To get from 2x to 10x, I just need to multiply by 5. So now we're going to set both of those factors equal to 0. So 2x equals 0, which when you solve, you get x equals 0. And then we're going to have x plus 5 equals to 0. And when you solve there, you get x equals negative 5. Okay, that's how you do it mathematically. If you watch the other video with the calculator, you'll see how you can just do it with the calculator. Okay, now for 5, now they're asking to solve by finding the square root method. So here, x squared, so we're going to need to get x squared equals. That's what we want at the end. So if we look at 5, we need to get rid of this minus 64. So we're going to add 64 to both sides. So you get x squared equals 64. Now that we have the x squared by itself, we need to cancel out that that squared. So we're going to square root both sides. So that square root takes away that squared. So we're left with x equals, and the square root of 64 is a positive or a negative 8. Okay, for 6, we need to solve. Now we're going to take this x plus 6 squared. We're going to use that as our x squared. So we're trying to get that equal to something else. Okay, so the first step we're going to do is we're going to divide by that 3 to get rid of it. So we're going to have x plus 6 squared equals 9. Now, okay, we're going to go through the same steps. So basically right now, we said that this parentheses are x. So we have x squared, so we need to make, before we can do anything, we have to take that square root. So when we do that, it cancels out the square root and the square. So we have x plus 6 equals, and square root of 9 is plus or minus 3. Okay, now we got to get x by itself, so we're going to subtract this 6 to both sides. When you do this is when it's going to branch off. So we're going to mark negative 6's. Now we have plus and minus 3, so on one we're going to say plus 3, and the other we're going to say minus 3. When we do this, negative 6 plus 3, and if we don't know that, we can go in our calculator and go home and go to calculate and type in negative 6 plus 3, and we get a negative 3, and negative 6 minus 3, we're going to get a negative 9. And those are our two roots there. Again, go on the other video to watch it just done by the calculator. Okay, now to look at 7. Okay, what is put in the quadratic formula? Well, to do that, we need to know what the quadratic formula is. The quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So when we look at number 7, the first thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to move this minus 8 to the other side. When you move to the other side, just change this to its opposite. So instead of being a negative 8, it's going to be a positive 8. So we're going to find our a, b, and c values. So our a value is in front of the x squared. So there's nothing there, but the x squared is there. Our value is 1. Our b value is in front of our x, which here is 3. And our c value is the constant, which is 8. Okay, now that we know this information, we're going to go and we're going to plug it into that equation. So we're going to have x equals negative b, so negative 3, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 3 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, c, which is 8, all over 2a, which is 1. Now, okay, I'm not going to go any more mathematical with this, just because there's really no need to. I mean, you can go ahead and you can solve it out mathematically, but we're going to go ahead and skip that part, just because time's sake, really, and because you don't really need to know it. Okay, so whenever you were to solve this, we go to menu, 331, and you'll type in your a, b, and c values. So 1, 3, and 8, and you get a empty box, which means no solution. Okay, and we look at 8. Okay, everything's already on one side, so we're in our a, b, and c values. So our a value is with the x squared, which is 3, b is with the x, which is 8, and c is with the constant, the lone soldier, which is 5. So again, we're going to plug it into this equation right here. So we have x equals negative b, so just the opposite, so negative 8 plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 8 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is 5. All over 2 times a, which is 3. Okay, and then from here, again, go to your calculator. Oops. Menu 331, and be able to type in that information. So 3, 8, and 5. And you're going to get negative 5 over 3 and negative 1. Okay, number 9. Your a value, a number in front of x squared, is 1. Your b value is negative 8. Your c value is 3. So we're going to plug in our information. So x equals negative b means the opposite. So it's going to be a positive 8. Square root b squared, so negative 8 squared, minus 4 times A, which is 1, C, which is 3, all over 2A, which is 1. I'm going to show you how to do this one mathematically. It's probably going to be an ugly number, but just so if you really watch this so you can figure it out, I will show you. Okay, so we have x equals, we're going to keep our 8 plus or minus, and we're going to keep our 2 times 1, which is 2 for now. Now, we're going to go to our calculator, and we're going to type in square root, so control x squared, and we're going to type in what we have. So, negative 8 squared in parentheses, minus 4 times 1 times 3. I have it exactly as it looks over there. Push enter, and it'll tell me it's about 7.2111. Now from here, I'm going to break off. And I'm going to say, okay, 8, we're going to say our plus first, 7.2111 divided by 2. And then we're going to have our 8 now minus 7.2111 divided by 2. So when I calculate, we can go 8 plus 7.2111 and divide that by 2. And you get about 7.6. And then we can do our 8 minus 7.2111, divide that by 2, and you get about 0.4. Okay, that's how you do it mathematically. Again, it's a lot of work when we can go straight to the calculator. Okay, so if we look at 10, the first thing we have to do is move that 7 over, get everything on one side. So then we have our A value, which is 1, B value in front of the X, which is 10, and C is negative 7, that constant. So again, I'm putting it into this equation up here. So X equals negative B, so negative 10 plus or minus the square root of B squared, which is 10 squared, minus 4 times A, which is 1, C, which is negative 7. All over 2 times your A value, which is 1. Okay, once you have that equation, again, go to your calculator menu, 331. The degree is 2, so we're going to push enter. We're going to enter in our number. So our A value is 1, go down. B value is 10, go down. C value is negative 7. Push enter and find your values are about x equals negative 10.7 and about x equals 0.7. Okay, now on the back, working out these problems. So we know that the vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. They give us a vertex and a point, so they're going to give us our h and k, and they give us our x and our y. So everywhere we see our x and our y, we're plugging those in. And where we see our h and our k, we're going to be plugging those values in. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to plug those numbers in. So our y value is 7 equals a times x, which is 2, minus our h, which is 1 squared, and our k value is a positive 4. Okay, now we solve, we have 7 equals. Now, 2 minus 1 is 1, and 1 squared is 1. We don't have to write that 1, we can just write a. And we have our plus 4. Now we want this a by itself, so to get it by itself, we've got to get rid of that plus 4. So we're going to subtract 4 to both sides. And we get 3 equals a. Now that we know this, we go right back up here. Now, I don't want to fill in the blues. I want my y and my x to stay y and x. So I'm just going to be plugging in my a value, my h, and my k. So I'm going to have y equals my a value, which we found was 3. We're going to keep that x, and we're going to have minus 1 for our h squared, and we're going to still have our k value, which is plus 4. And there is your equation. Now for your next one, now they're giving it to you already in vertex form, but they want it now in standard form. So we have to solve this out. So we have y equals 4x plus 6 squared minus 4. So the first thing we have to get rid of are those parentheses, so right here. So to get rid of them, though, we have to do our box. So we have x and 6, x and 6. So x and x make x squared. X and 6 make 6x. 6 and x make 6x, and 6 and 6 make 36. Now, if I look through here, the two terms I combine are these two x's right here. So when I combine them, I get x squared plus 12x plus 36. Now that I have that, I want to bring down everything else. I got to bring down that 4, and I have to bring down that -1. Now, once I do that, now I have to solve. So I am going to now distribute this 4 to every term inside of the parentheses. I do not do it to this -1, only things inside. So 4 times x squared is 4x squared. 4 times 12x is 48x. And 4 times 36 is a positive 144. Okay. Then, again, I'm dropping down that -1. Okay, once I do that, now I have to combine my like terms. So my like terms are just those constants. So I end up with y equals my 4x squared plus my 48x, and then I have my 143. And there's your equation in standard form. Again, all of these, look on the other YouTube video to watch how to do it just based on the calculator. Okay, for this one, for your vertex form, we need to know our vertex and we need to know our A value. Now I'm going to show you a little shortcut for your A value. You can do the point and your vertex like we did up here and be able to solve like this to find your vertex form. I'm going to show you a shortcut though. So if we look, the first thing that we need to look at is our graph. Okay, and look at our scale. So each one of these lines, what is it going by? It's going by 1/2. So this is 1/2, this is 1, this is 1 and 1/2. This is 2. Okay. So same thing over here. This is going by 1/2. This is 1. This is 1/2. That's 2. This is 2 halves. That's 3. And then this is 3 halves. So every line we're going by halves. So the first thing we need to know is our vertex, which is right here. So we know it's 2, 2. Now, we need to know our A value. Okay, the easy way to find an A value on your graph is you're going to go from your vertex over 1 unit. Now, remember, each one of these lines is 1/2. So I'm going to go over 2 lines, which is 1 unit. Now, once I do this, however much I go up, that is now my A value. Okay, so I have to go up to touch the problem. So from here, I'm going up 1/2, I'm going up 1, and I touch my parabola. So my A value is equal to what I go up, which is 1. Okay, so I always go to the right or left 1, and then however much I go up and touch my parabola, that's what my A value is. So when I write my vertex form, I have y equals A. Well, our A is 1. Do you have to write that? No. Okay, so then I have my parentheses, x, the opposite of my h value, which would be -2 squared, and then my k value, which is +2. Now, to find my standard form, I'm now going to do exactly what I did just up here. So I'm going to first have to go, I'm going to have to do my box. So I'm going to have x and a -2, x and a -2. So x and x make x squared. X and -2 make -2x. -2 and x make -2x. And -2 make a +4. Now again, the two things I look at, what can I combine? I combine this -2x and -2x. So I have x squared minus 4x plus 4. Now if I look up at the top, what can I bring down? Okay, I have to bring down this plus 2 at the end. Okay, so when I do that, the two things I combine now, my two like terms, my 4 and that 2. So 4 and 2 make 6. And I just drop everything else down. So minus 4x and my x squared. So y equals that is going to be my standard form.